All ready? All right. You see the intensity, right? Just play carefree, though. Don't worry about mistakes. Just go out and play hard.
Along with LeBron, history tonight. The first father-son duo to play together in an NBA game.
Most of the time, NBA preseason games don't receive a ton of attention, but that wasn't the case when the Los Angeles Lakers faced the Phoenix Suns in a preseason match on October 6th. Because on that night, for the first time in NBA history, LeBron James and his son Bronny became the first father and son duo to play in an official NBA game.
In the desert, and here we go. We've been waiting for it. It is the preseason, but LeBron James and LeBron James Jr. are on the floor at the same time.
So, how did they get here? What has this journey been like? And what is next for these two? The year was 2004, and LeBron James was fresh in the NBA, but was still the biggest name in the game. Those of us old enough to be around back then remember that there had never been a rookie quite like Bron. Even though he was a very young man, and this was only his first season, he was still dropping jaws with his talents and immediately had an impact on his team. But more important than the talent he brought to the Cleveland Cavaliers was the fact he just became a father.
It was difficult not having that father figure around, so, I carry that responsibility strong, and I respect that.
Real fast, you're here because you're a basketball fan, and that means you want all of the latest and greatest when it comes to the NBA. Here at Hoop Central, we're working hard to produce the best basketball content for you several times a week. So make sure you like and subscribe because we have so much more headed your way. Now, back to LeBron, his son, and the legacy they're creating. Back in 2004, LeBron was not even 20 years old and navigating the bright lights of the NBA, while also trying to change diapers and keep his first son entertained. Devoted LeBron fans remember many moments when the future four-time champion brought his little boy to games. There was Bronny, tiny and wide-eyed, soaking it all in. Before he could even speak, Bronny knew his dad was something special, and he understood just how amazing basketball could be. As Bronny grew up, basketball wasn't just a game on TV. Instead, it was family. He watched LeBron's legendary moments live, like Dad dropping 61 points on the Bobcats.
The first 60-point game in Miami Heat history.
And those courtside memories became imprinted on his young mind. So, from a young age, Bronny was living and breathing basketball, even if he didn't know it. And if talent really is handed down from father to son, there was no doubt that Bronny himself could forge a path into professional sports someday. Excellence runs in the James family, but they're not the first father-son pair to score some points for a team. LeBron and Bronny will be the first father and son to actively play together in the NBA, but they aren't trailblazers when it comes to other sports. In fact, LeBron and Bronny's relationship on and off the court brings to mind a bunch of legendary father-son duos. For example, in the major leagues, we've got Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr., who even played together for the Mariners. LeBron and Bronny have been compared to these two multiple times over the last few months. Comparisons are for sure to continue, since the Griffeys did it first.
Fly out into left center. And it's Ken Griffey Jr. taking the play away from his father.
Then, in the NFL, Peyton and Eli Manning had their dad, Archie Manning, as their mentor. It's one thing to be coached by a high school coach, but it's another when your dad was an NFL quarterback himself.
Chandler.
Archie drops. He looks. He's whistling off here to Chandler, and he's got the football inside the 20. He's going to go in and score. Then the Saints strike perfect.
In the WHA, NHL's competitor back in the 70s, Gordie Howe came out of retirement to play alongside his sons, Mark and Marty Howe. The crazy thing about this story is Gordie was in his 50s, while his sons were in their 20s.
In the 1979-80 season, 51-year-old Gordie Howe of the Hartford Whalers had the unique opportunity to play alongside his sons, Mark and Marty, in the National Hockey League.
So it's clear that the Jameses weren't the ones who invented the concept of playing together. In a lot of ways, a father and son participating in the same sport makes a lot of sense. We have all seen sons follow in their father's footsteps, but usually, Senior retires before Junior can play. That is one of the many things that set them apart from the rest. Also, no father and son have ever received the sort of attention, both good and bad, that LeBron and Bronny have. LeBron James has accomplished nearly everything in basketball. 4-time champion, 20-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year, MVP, and more. He has the most points in league history and has found unparalleled success in everything he does. He's a household name, even for those who have never watched a single game. Love him or hate him, LeBron James has seriously done it all. The truth is that LeBron has always had one more dream that sits above them all: to play alongside his son. It's something LeBron James has talked about for years. He's practically willed it into existence. You can see the emotion every time he talks about it. The gang has never hidden his excitement about the potential of a father-son duo in the NBA.
Bronny is number one on my list.
That's dope.
He's number one on my list that I want to play with for sure.
You want him to beat you? You think?
Nah, he can't beat me.
I got to be on the floor with Bronny. You know, either on the same uniform, you know, a matchup.
For a while, it seemed like a pipe dream. The critics didn't think it would happen. First of all, how could James still be playing in the NBA when his son was eligible for the draft? That would require the sort of lengthy career that few people had ever achieved. Well, LeBron proved these people wrong because he's still posting more than 25 points a night as he reaches 40 years old. Okay, but what are the chances the Lakers would take a chance on signing Bronny? Would he really earn the right to be an NBA player? While Bronny's young career has been unquestionably mixed so far, he impressed a lot of people during the NBA Combine and showed that he really does have potential. So the Lakers weren't that crazy to draft him, especially as the number 55 pick.
With the 55th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select Bronny James from the University of Southern California.
It once seemed impossible, but everything went right. The stars aligned, and both LeBron and Bronny worked hard to make this happen. Now they are together on the same team, but the hard work has really only just begun. Man, the expectations are sky high for Bronny. No matter what happens, he will always be compared to his dad, and people will constantly demand even more from him. It's hard enough being a young rookie, even without the added pressure of having James on the back of your jersey. Every time he steps on the court, the comparisons come flying. Can he be as great as his dad? Will he be the next chosen one? Sure, Bronny has shown flashes of brilliance, but people seem to forget that he's a kid trying to make his own mark in a world where his dad's shadow looms large. When compared to LeBron James, Bronny pales in comparison, although most people do. But when compared to other kids who were the number 55 pick in the draft, Bronny is fairly average. He's not blowing up the scoreboard right now, but he has some potential, especially on the defensive side of the court. He could go places, but the question remains, will he shine like his old man? We haven't seen much of Bron and Bronny together. When they finally joined together on the court, they didn't spend much time side by side. Everyone is waiting to see how they'll perform for more than a few seconds. Will they show the world the sort of lobs and screens they work on at home together?
Yeah. Oh, turnover. Coach, get him out. Get him out. Too many turnovers. Get him out, coach.
Or will their play styles not be compatible? How often will the famous father and son play together? It's not entirely clear yet, and the jury is still out if that'll actually result in any wins. Now, here's the big question that everyone seems to be asking again and again. Would Bronny be getting as much attention if he wasn't LeBron's son? You have heard people raise this question before, and you'll definitely hear them raise it again and again in the months ahead. The answer is tricky. Bronny is good. His skills and basketball IQ are solid, but there's no denying the extra spotlight because of who his father is. In a world full of talented young players, the James name has undoubtedly opened doors. It's given Bronny opportunities and scrutiny that few others get. All of this has put him under a microscope, and the pressure to live up to the name might sometimes feel like playing with a 50-pound weight strapped to his back. It's like being the son of a rock star and trying to make your own album. Sure, you'll get into the best studios and producers will take your calls, but they'll also be quick to point out if you can't deliver the hits. In the end, Bronny is carving his own path, and the journey is just beginning. Whether or not he fully steps out of his father's shadow, one thing's for sure. The James family has already given basketball fans one of the most compelling father and son stories ever. Thank you for joining us as we look back on LeBron James and his son Bronny playing together in the NBA. Give us your take in the comments below of how you think Bronny is going to do. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you get the latest content right when it drops. Until then, we'll see you next time.